So again, this idea of being able to put sound anywhere you want to is really starting to catch on. We've got the military had just deployed some of these into Iraq where you can put fake troop movements a quarter of a mile away on a hillside. Or you can whisper in the ear of a supposed terrorist some biblical verse. I'm serious.
Look out for Charlie.
So there is an update to the Giovanni Pelletier case, and it's exactly what I said happened. I'm going to show you that. First, I want to point out that there's so much overblown shit that happens, and whether it's bots leaving comments or rage baiters, you have videos like this where it says, you know, his cousins know what they did. And, you know, I knew that the cousins had nothing to do with this, and I'm just going to say it. I've been making videos or posting blogs about this kind of stuff for 12 years now. I've been investigating it for 15, and there isn't a case that I've been wrong about. And yet, very few people know about this channel. There really isn't a case that I've been wrong about, not once. So the police found footage of Pelletier running across the freeway and then running down towards what they call the pond. I'm going to show you this, and I looped it a couple times in the video so you can see him running down off the freeway. This is a security camera from Lowe's Home Improvement that points right towards that hill that goes down to what they call a pond. Allegedly, in the car, he had told the cousins that he was with that he was a demon. So there was something going on. He was probably hearing something, whether it was rapid or whether it had been coming on through the night or since he got to Florida, I don't know. But he was saying some pretty weird shit, and they're trying to blame the cousins. If this guy's got a knife, I would want to get him out of the car too. You know, like, it's crazy the way they're still blaming the cousins and saying, you know, well, why'd they push him out of the car? Well, the guy's threatening to take the car off the road, and he's got 2 knives on him. He carries 2 knives. So, you know, blaming the cousins is absurd. So let's watch this.
Deep embankment. He's coming down there, almost an uncontrollable sprint. If you've ever gone down a hill, you know what I'm talking about. But the pond is right here.
They keep calling it a pond. I'm going to get into that.
The edge of that embankment. I mean, the important thing that I want you to see, there's no one chasing him. There's no one around him. In fact, when he's coming down that...
So there isn't anyone chasing him. It's just him by himself running. Just like I said, went down.
That embankment.
He's right there running. I loop it.
That embankment. That embankment.
So he's running right for the pond. The pond is right over here. And it's not really a pond. I want to talk about that.
That embankment. The vehicle is 2 miles away.
So by the time he's running down towards that pond, their car is already 2 miles away. They're down the road. Now, let's talk about this quote-unquote pond. Here's the alleged pond that he ran down towards, all right? These aren't really ponds. They call them ponds, right? A retention pond. It's really a ditch. That's all it is. Now, if you look at it, this is in July. There's barely any water in there. They're all dried out. So how did he really drown in this when he was allegedly a really strong swimmer? That's the question. Like, what got him in there, and what happened after he got into that pond? Let's get a little closer if we can. If you look at that, there is barely any water in there. Barely. You can see weeds sticking up out of the water, right? How is somebody going to drown in that? I find that very, very improbable. So, at the end of the day, they found the video, and there's even video of him running across the freeway that you can look up. They weren't chasing him. The cousins didn't do anything to him. He did everything to himself somehow, and somehow got in this pond. So everything that I said from the first video that I did about him is correct. Before I get out of here, this is very concerning. I released, 3 of my last videos, 4 of my last videos have been on missing 411 cases and people hearing voices, right? The last Paulides video that I saw that just came out like yesterday or the day before Dave is now talking about voices. Just coincidentally, he dropped it out of nowhere and says that he's investigating them. We need to really pay attention to this. Let's listen to what he says here.
Let me throw something out there. In the vast majority of these cases, there's never any mental health crisis that we know about.
Yep. God.
The people that claim to hear voices in their head,
See, there's something bad going on here, man. Telling you.
we've always labeled them as mentally ill. What if
Oh, God.
they're really hearing voices?
Well, here we go. The grift is coming.
How do we know? Now, there's people that report hearing what's called mind speak from Bigfoot.
Oh, God.
In fact, there's a lot of people that claim
They
that.
claim it's from Bigfoot. You don't know that it's actually Bigfoot. For crying out loud. Man,
Are they really hearing it?
probably.
And then there's people who have been abducted and are on ships, UFO ships, who claim that the UFO aliens talk to them in mind speak.
Okay, what you have to remember about that is most alien abductions happen in people's sleep. Like a sleep paralysis episode where they are abducted by aliens, right? And they are talked to. In most cases, not all of them, most. And that coincides with everything that I talk about as well. You don't know that it's actually aliens. Let's let them keep going here. It's very important.
Are those people making that up?
Probably not, but it's not aliens, bro.
So when they hear things in their mind and they tell them to do something, do we think they're mentally ill if they do it? Or is the invitation to do it so provocative that you can't turn it down?
No, that's not how it works. And I've explained how it works for a decade on this channel. But people have tried to write Dave and tried to get him to watch my videos. And I think he watches them because why would he release this right after I released 3-4 videos on missing 411 cases? But he sends them, they say, he sends them condescending responses.
Now, in the last couple years, I've heard a lot about this.
Uh-huh.
I really do think there's something to it.
Yeah, because so many people have contacted him about my material.
I'm not sure who is doing it or initiating the speaking.
Now that's what's weird, and that's the part that I need to point out. Dave isn't sure who's doing it, but right before that, he says that they hear Bigfoot mind speak and alien mind speak. But here, he says he's not sure who is doing it.
I'm not sure who is doing it or initiating the speaking.
And here comes the scariest comment of all of them.
But I'm looking into it.
He's looking into it. And then he just changes the subject.
Okay, this case involves...
So he gets in, he talks about these voices, and then he says, I'm looking into it.
But I'm looking into it.
Well, I've been looking into it, Dave, for 15 years now. I've been releasing material about it for 12 years now. I have evidence. I have everything that I need to tell you who is doing it, why they're doing it, how they're doing it. But Dave is looking into it. I smell a grift coming on here. And we need to be really careful about this because I have the feeling, and I've always had the feeling, that Dave was somehow going to jump on this and get into it. And it really scares me about where he is going to take this.
But I'm looking into it.
That is terrifying to me. I just know that it is going to be bad information. And that is it for now. Look out for Charlie.
So again, this idea of being able to put sound anywhere you want to is really starting to catch on. We've got the military had just deployed some of these into Iraq where you can put fake troop movements a quarter of a mile away on a hillside. Or you can whisper in the ear of a supposed terrorist some biblical verse. I'm serious.
Look out for Charlie.